Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of The Cloudy Vape. In this video we're going to be talking about the Yep RDA by Kingtu. So I picked up this RDA from Vapor DNA. It was just recently released. Let's have a little vape on it, then dive down and check it out. In case you're wondering, this is built at 0.3 ohms at about 45 watts using a max VG juice. So without more yapping, let's dive down and check it out. So here is the Yep RDA. This is the box it comes in. It says Yep. It also says Yep version 1. Also the color, it kind of shows white, but it's a stainless steel color. I believe there's only copper and stainless steel. It says enjoy, what does it say? Enjoy with me. That's what it says right there. Enjoy with me. And that's about it on the box. Nothing too fancy. So as you get it, it's wrapped in plastic when you do get it. So I took that off, of course. Your little extra stuff, you get O-rings. That's about it. All I'm seeing is O-rings. No replacement screws, which is kind of a bunk, but oh well. And it comes with a blue screwdriver, of course. So kind of upset that it doesn't come with extra screws. But that's just, that's just my opinion. So let's go ahead and look at this RDA up close. So the first thing to mention, really big airflow right here. Airflow and drip tip, of course. You have some heatsink fins right here. You also have some going on at the bottom. If I can pop this off, if you see, it kind of looks like this would be an airflow. As far as I'm seeing, I'm not seeing any airflow. So if I'm just dumb, go ahead and correct me. But this kind of just looks like kind of a thing to vent heat, just so heat doesn't get on the barrel. So that's what that looks like. As far as the bottom, let's check out the bottom. So you have a copper contact pin. You also have this same thing. It says Yep version 1. It also says enjoy with me right here, and that's about it. The pin does sit out kind of far. Not too crazy, but it is adjustable. It's adjustable pin, so that's nice. So that's that. Let's look at this drip tip up close. So it's definitely a wide drip tip. As far as diameter, size, it is about the same size as the Mutation X. It's just you have a larger insulator around it, like it's a thicker actual shaft, but the inside of it is about the same size. It's just the the overall size of it is bigger. So bigger is better. So let's look at this. This is your airflow control. You have 3 airflow controls in here. So this is your single coil mode right here. You have your dual coil if you want to set that up. Looking inside here, you have a cone type shape, kind of like the Mutation X. The only reason I'm kind of going back to Mutation X is because that's one of the most popular large airflow RDAs. So a lot of people know what that is. So I'm just trying to reference, get you guys a little idea of what it might be like. So it definitely has that cone thing going on in the top of the airflow control. So as far as the actual RDA, it's a 22mm RDA in size, so it will fit on the majority of your devices, any of your 22mm mech mods, stuff like that. It will definitely fit. As far as these airflow in here, it doesn't really state. I mean, I could go through and count every single hole. I would just guesstimate. It's a shower type airflow. It definitely cools it off more. I do notice it's a nice cool vape, not really warm going on. So that is kind of cool. It definitely cools off the vape, the clouds, the vapor, whatever you want to call it. It definitely cools it off, so that's nice. So you got one on each side, and then you just pop it in, and you can adjust it like so. If you see it's closing it off, opening it up, you can do that. So that's definitely an option, and also a single coil mode. So that is that. Let me pop this off. As far as inside here, very smooth, very smooth, very smooth. Wow, that's smooth. So that's really smooth right there. Like I said, these bottom little slits right here, these are just for heat distribution for these bottom fins. I just dropped it. These bottom fins, it just distributes the heat around the bottom of the RDA. So that's pretty much all this is. So this is just your barrel, and that is that. So let's look at the deck. That's the most important part. Basically what you got going on is you have your fins, of course. You have 2 O-rings to kind of seal off the barrel when you put that down. It is kind of a loose fit. It's not really a snug fit. So definitely I would suggest getting larger O-rings if you're going to be using this. The replacement O-rings might fit. The ones I used, I believe I just used some I had laying around because the stock ones were kind of just slipping off, and yeah, no bueno, so I wanted to change that up. As far as these goes, these are 24 karat plated screws, but they're chipping off pretty bad as I'm using it, so that's definitely a con. Don't like that at all. So as far as the actual build, it's a 4-post design. You have 2 center posts design right here. You have your 2 negative posts that are milled into the deck. This center block right here goes all the way down. You have an insulator down there. As far as durability, I'm trying to turn this to see if it maybe wiggles. No, there's no wiggle in it. As far as sharpness, very smooth. It is a nice deep well. I don't see the manufacturer stating any size or depth of this, but it's definitely a little bit deeper than the Mutation X version 3. I would say about 4 millimeters. Yeah, 4 or 5 millimeter juice well in here. So that's very nice. It's pretty easy to build. The overall machining of this is very smooth. Really no issues here. Very smooth all over the place. Like I said, the only issue I would have with this deck is the post holes should be a little bit bigger, and the screws are kind of, you know, they're weird. They're plated, and as you can see if I go up close, but basically these are chipping off, and also the center ones are kind of rubbing together as you screw them down. So that is definitely a con. Not really a big fan of that. But the overall, you know, production of the actual vape when you're vaping on it is great. Works very good. You just want to keep an eye out for the chipping, the 24 karat chipping. It says 24 karat, but it's just, yeah, it's supposed to help conductivity. That's why they plated it, but it's just chipping off, and it's just causing a lot of issues. So not really a fan of inhaling gold flakes. So that is just my thoughts. So let's look at the rest of it and kind of see how it gets put together. So picking up these, we have our barrel, we have our deck. Your barrel goes on with the slits down, just like that. And then your airflow control goes on however you set it up, if you want it single coil or dual coil. And then of course your drip tip goes in. And that is that. That's the whole entire RDA. The other issue I would have is if you see right here, it just goes right through the deck. The deck goes right through the barrel. That's also an issue. I'm not really a fan of that, especially if your you know, your RDA doesn't sit flush on your mod. What can happen is it can actually slide in more, and you know, that could cause issues. I mean, not really, because once you have this in, once you have the top airflow in, it doesn't really move. So I mean, that fixes that, but it's not, you know, if you pop it off and then you're just putting your airflow control down, it's gonna pop in like that. So I'm just kind of you know, I'm over scrutinizing this, but I just wanted to show you a few things that I found that were kind of wonky, things that, you know, kind of bug me. But as far as you know, volume vaping goes, it works very well. So let's go ahead and go back to FaceTime and talk about it a little bit more. Let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons about this. First thing I would have to say as a pro is definitely the stock drip tip. The stock drip tip is absolutely awesome. I like the option between single coil, dual coil. The building is kind of tedious, but it kind of works. As far as cons go, I don't like the screws. The screws have like a plating on it, and it kind of is chipping off, so not a good thing on that end. Not really a fan of those screws. They also seem to be stripping out a little bit, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Definitely a con. The other con is that the flavor is just not that good. I don't find it to be a very flavorful RDA compared to other wide open airflows. It's just not there compared to, say, the Mutation X. The Mutation X even has muted airflow, but compared to that, it's even more muted. It's just something you would use if you want to do volume vaping, if you want to blow those clouds. So those are just a few things to throw out there. But besides that, very nice for vapor production. Very nice as far as stock airflow, stock drip tip, all of that stuff. Very nice. So for you volume vapors, you're probably going to enjoy this. So I just hope you found this review helpful. I hope it gave you a little bit of idea of what's going on with this RDA. Maybe you pick it up, maybe you don't. Maybe you just say, I don't want this. But, whatever. I just hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. This is a Cloudy Vape, and remember, vaping is dead, and remember, vaping is dead. This is Cloudy signing out. Remember, vaping is dead, smoking is... Wait, no, smoking is dead, vaping is... Dang it!